Welcome back to TazerFace Nostalgia Games, where the past isn't dead, it's just waiting for a restart. This is where legends rise, pixels bleed, and nostalgia roars back to life. I'm TazerFace, and today we're tearing open another monument from gaming history. So tighten that grip, crank the volume, and remember, in my world, every memory fights back.
He told me he would kill you.
Olympus burns, the sky splits open, and vengeance screams from the throat of a man who's no longer mortal. Kratos is unleashed. This isn't just another sequel. This is the apocalypse wrapped in muscle, myth, and pure, unfiltered rage. God of War 3 didn't just end a trilogy, it ended an era. And on PS5, that fury is reborn sharper, louder, faster, but just as soaked in blood as it was in 2010. So today we're diving headfirst into Olympus, tearing through nostalgia and facing the gods one last time. Welcome back to TazerFace Nostalgic Games. This is God of War 3. There's no build-up, no slowed fade in. The game starts like a war trumpet to the face. You're on the back of Gaia, a mountain-sized titan climbing Olympus. Lightning, lava, chaos, it's all happening at once. And then Kratos drops in. Boom! You feel it first hit. You see Poseidon's watery form crash into you. You feel the scale. Like someone jammed every myth in history into a blender of carnage. This is where God of War 3 flexes its power. Every boss fight, every scream feels personal. Because Kratos doesn't fight for glory. He fights for spite. You're not the hero. You're not even the villain. You're the storm that swallows both. On PS3, this was jaw drop. On PS5, it's surgical violence in 4K. The frame rate never stumbles, even when a god's face fills the entire screen. It's brutal, it's personal, it's beautiful in the ugliest possible way. Let's talk about presentation. On PS3, God of War 3 was one of those games that made people's jaws hit the carpet. It wasn't just big, it was operatic. The lightning, the animation, the insane particle effects, they looked impossible for 2010. You could almost smell the ash on Kratos' skin. Fast forward to PS5 and the remaster hits like a war drum. The detail is unreal, the armor reflects firelight, the blades glow like molten steel. Shadows crawl across walls like living things. The texture is razor sharp, the motion fluid as God's wrath. It's not just a facelift, it's a resurrection. God of War 3 Remastered on PS5 proves something important. When a game is built on passion, not polygons, it never truly ages. And if you want unforgettable moments, let's talk about what God of War 3 gives you in the first hour. Poseidon, gone. You rip the sea god's head off from a first-person perspective. The camera doesn't flinch, you see everything. This game didn't care about your comfort zone, it cared about your reactions. Every boss fight is a statement piece. Helios, blinding light and golden arrogance. Hermes, smug speed and divine taunting. Hades, grotesque shadowy power. Each death is a painting made with blood and myth. And when you finally reach Zeus, the game slows down. Not because it runs out of spectacle, but because it wants you to feel that rage. It hands you control and lets you decide how long to punch him in the face. And you can go for a long time. You can stop or you can keep going. It's one of the rawest moments in gaming with the mirror held up to wrath itself. It's not just gameplay, it's psychology. But beneath all the violence, there's something deeper. You realize God of War 3 isn't about just killing gods. It's about what happens when you've already lost everything. Kratos isn't fighting for his family anymore. He's fighting because it's all he knows how to do. When Pandora appears, when innocence walks into his war, the rage wavers. For a moment, the Ghost of Sparta becomes human again. That's the paradox. A man of rage learning to feel again, only to lose it all once more. That's what separates God of War 3 from every other hack and slash pretender. It's not just about how many enemies you can kill. It's about why you swing the blade at all. Alright, let's break down the gameplay because beneath the chaos, there's craftsmanship. Every weapon feels alive. The blades of exile, the claws of Hades, the Nemean cestus, they all carry weight and rhythm. Combos flow like choreography. There's never a wasted motion. Enemies react, they adapt, and they bleed. The puzzles give you breathers, brief moments to think before you're thrown back into hellfire. And the camera, that cinematic, pulled back God's eye view, it's not just for show. It makes you feel small. Because that's the point. You're Kratos defying the gods, but you're still just one man standing against eternity. On PS5, God of War 3 hits a bit different. Not because of the resolution and not because of the frame rate, but because now, in hindsight, we know where Kratos ends up. We've seen his future, we've seen him broken, we've seen him rebuilt, and we've seen him reborn. And coming back to this game, this explosion of wrath and sorrow, you feel the contrast even sharper. This is where the Greek saga ends, and the man we know begins. You can almost hear the echoes of the Norse winds and the ashes of Olympus. The transition isn't just story, it's symbolic. God of War 3 is Kratos burning his past so he can one day be free of it. Finally, Olympus has fallen. The gods are gone, and Kratos stands in silence, staring into a world he no longer belongs to. The rage fades, the music softens. What's left is reflection. God of War 3 isn't just the end of a trilogy. It's a mirror held up to obsession, grief, and power. That's what happens when your revenge becomes your only religion. And yet, even after every scream, every kill, every act of fury, Kratos still looks to the light. That's why this game endures. Because beneath all the destruction, there's humanity. It's not just about God's fallen. It's about us, the players, learning what it costs to rise again. And that's why, even 15 years later, God of War 3 still roars. And that's another legend brought back to life. If the nostalgia hit hard, if the chaos felt real, then show it in some fire. Crowd cheer and electric. Hit that like, smash that subscribe button, feed the algorithm with the rage of Sparta. I'm TazerFace, reminding you, stay loud, stay relentless, stay remembered.